Researchers in Israel started noticing that there could possibly be evidence in literature that links students with developmental coordination disorders, such as dysgraphia, with organizational problems in school and at home. They also thought that these same students with these coordination disorders could also be lacking in self-care skills, activities and duties at home, sports, and various other school tasks. What they wanted to look at in their research study was, do kids with dysgraphia also have organizational problems in other areas of their life, not just their written skills on a piece of paper? They took 7 and 8-year-olds from northern Israel to do this study. These are kids that were born in Israel, lived there their whole life, and the study was done in Hebrew because they spoke and wrote in Hebrew. They found 30 males that had dysgraphia already diagnosed, and they had a control group of 28 males, then the general ed population with no disabilities. What they wanted to see is they did handwriting evaluation. They looked at just how legible their letters were when they wrote them, how there are numbers of eraser marks, how many times they wrote and rewrote words, and just their overall spatial arrangement of their paper. They also gave questionnaires to teachers and their parents about their home life and how they are in the classroom, just to try to get a general sense of, are they organized at home? Do they do their work at school? How do they perform? How do they function? Do they know where their papers are in the folder? How do they do just in everyday life? One thing they did notice just by the handwriting samples is that's already been proven in many other studies is students with dysgraphia had many spatial problems and organization in their writing. So they use these questionnaires to try to link if the disorganization in their writing carried over to other areas of their life. Study found that in addition to their writing, students with dysgraphia had a harder time organizing their time and activities at school and at home as well. They were the kids that were not ready on time at home to go to school. They were the ones that weren't necessarily getting their stuff done on time in school. They also determined that it takes kids on average longer to complete their homework when they have dysgraphia. Researchers linked poor motor performance in the students with dysgraphia and poor handwriting with poor organizational skills. They said that this is the first study of its kind that they knew of to be done in this area. Obviously, more research would need to be done. They realized that they used a very small sample size in one area of one country, but it is something to be interested in looking more into to determine if there is a link. There also were talking in the article about the executive functioning processes and how dysgraphia can affect that, and that also affects other areas of school. So there definitely could be a link here, and it's just an interesting possibility that those two are linked. So I'd be interested to know if, since this study's been done, anyone else has looked more into this, because this was kind of a groundbreaking link, and it'd be interesting to see other studies to see if these results remain consistent in other areas with other students.